Good evening, all, and welcome to another episode. We are back, but it's just me. Obviously, I do have a guest in the green room, and obviously, it's not letting me on Instagram for some reason. I don't know why, but please all do subscribe if you haven't already. And tonight we're going to be talking, me and Michael Dorang is going to be talking about finding your true clarity of life. So we will see you in 31 seconds to be precise. See you soon. And welcome back. Hi, Michael.
Hello, Adam. How you doing?
I am fine. Well, to say I actually woke up and I had a sore throat, I had a cough, and my nose was literally leaking. But now I'm fine after having several cuppers. I'm actually
Uh-huh.
fine. All natural. All natural. What do you expect?
Yeah.
I see we've got some viewings already. So if you want to comment or got any questions surrounding this, please do put them in the chat. Because we are live. So find your true clarity of life. So why don't you
Mhm.
kick us off, Michael, and explain your journey into your clarity?
Oh, my goodness. My journey actually is a long one, and it took several kind of significant steps before I actually found my clarity. Um, let's start off with I was born in the US. I'm currently living in Canada. But I was in a largest family. I'm one of six kids, and I was always the outsider in the family. So it seemed like the family dynamics would rotate around everybody else, and I was not included in a whole lot of that. So going on to, you know, high school life was okay. It was pretty typical. Again, I was sort of in the outside cliques. I wasn't a jock. I wasn't, one of the intelligent, nerdy kids. I was in the theater group. I was part of the art scene, which didn't make me very popular. But, moving on to like young adulthood, um, because of always being an outsider, I was always sort of afraid of other people. And that fear led me to suppressing it with alcohol. So I got into addictions pretty early, actually. So late 20s, around there, I did finally wake up a bit and got sober. So that was my first sort of like breakthrough to clarity. And like my first real getting in touch with sort of this mental health kind of stuff. The only thing with addiction, though, is when you put down the substance that you've been using to cover up all of these uh, failings, or the way that you feel about yourself and all that kind of stuff. When you put down the substance that's been covering all those up, they don't go away. So you still have to deal with them. So it took me a very long time going through that journey of figuring things out. And I thought I had everything together, got my life sort of put together, married a lovely woman, moved to Canada. She was Canadian, so I moved up here. It was easier at the time than moving her down to the US. Um, Established a life here, made a good life for the two of us. And then it sort of hit middle age, and everything fell apart again because I didn't have that good structure behind me. I had like covered things up for a long time and sort of skated on the surface of really fixing myself and all that kind of stuff. But then when middle age hit, there wasn't any mental safety net for me because I didn't have that kind of upbringing or instruction, or that kind of um, what do I want to say? I didn't have that foundation. So that was a really terrible time for me. Um, I went through a long time of depression and just not really doing a whole lot with myself. It got to the point where I wasn't living, I was just merely existing. So that was really my second bout of dealing with this mental health stuff. And pulling myself out of that was really difficult. Um, but once I started to get sort of an idea of what actually was going on, I learned, and uh, what I was all about, it really helped because it started to build that foundation under what I was feeling.
Yeah.
So go along through that, get through sort of the most of midlife crisis and that sort of stuff. And then the third big, real sort of life reconstruction that I needed to do, where I needed to really get some good clarity, was I had been in my job for about 26 years, and the company reorganized and got rid of everybody who was long term. So suddenly, like, this huge area of my identity was just gone in a day. Like, it just disappeared. So I really had to do some soul searching to figure out what my next steps were going to be, and to figure out uh, what I was actually going to show up as in this world, is really the
Wow.
best way to put it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and congrats for actually doing this, talking
Yeah.
like this. Hi, Lorraine. Hope you're well. And I do actually need to speak to Lorraine after this anyway. So, yeah, if you'll probably think I'm in trouble, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it's that's brilliant. That's pretty much similar to mine, because obviously I grew up being addicted to alcohol as well. I didn't
Hmm.
have an identity, and for me to actually find my clarity, my identity, it took me to attempt suicide. And
Hmm.
that's what it is. That's what it actually takes. Which is, I know it sounds bad, but I now think, how do I say this? I needed that in my life to find that clarity, to find my purpose. And now look, I'm here.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And that's one of the things that a lot of a lot of people don't understand, is that all of these things that we go through in our life, if you look at them as teaching moments, they feel horrible when we're in them. They absolutely feel devastating. They feel horrible. You're thinking of, how am I ever going to survive this? But we do.
Yeah.
And if you look back on it and start looking for the lessons that you learned and the way that you progressed, like not only the process of what got you through that, but also the growth that came out of that too. It's like you don't discount any of your past experiences, no matter how horrible they were, because they made you the person that you are now.
Yes. Yes. And that's why with the abuse I experienced, um, I obviously thank those abusers for making me who I am today. Because, yeah, I know I have bad times. I think we all do, because that's what makes us unique.
Mm-hmm.
But hi, Latoya, hope you're well as well. Um, but it also it teaches you that self-gratitude to say, okay, self-love, because growing up I didn't have that identity. I didn't know who I was. I didn't I was just people pleasing, and that was a lot of what people do these days. They still do it today. They people
Mhm.
please just to get through
Yeah.
life. But when you're thinking about it, you always have to think about who you are. And that's why, yes, you can't change what happened in the past. That's impossible to do, but it's a lesson. That's
Mhm.
what it is. It's a lesson. And today, there's a reason why it's called the present, because it's a gift. It's teaching yourself gratitude and all that.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And in like keeping with the theme, what I feel is one of the biggest things in people pleasing is that people don't have clarity
No.
on themselves. You know, they're getting all of their uh uh what do I want to say? They're getting all of their self-image from outside people giving it to them
Yes.
instead of finding it inside. You know, so
Absolutely.
they're
Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're getting all of the gratitude from what people give them, and they're always looking for that the feeding of what is coming into them instead of what they already have inside. So once they gain the clarity of the kind of person that they are and the things that they have to offer themselves, I think it goes a long way in stopping that people pleasing attitude.
Do you know what? I totally agree. I really do. And this is why I'm actually going to find it now. I just need to hop onto Facebook as well. I really should be
Mhm.
organised here, but I'm really not. but but this is what we say. We always prepare for the unexpected here.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
obviously, I just need to close that if it lets me. No, no, it's not letting me. It's not letting me for some reason. I don't know why. It's not letting me close your chat for some reason. But it's actually a video of um of what it is. It's basically checking on how are people. You know, I'll try and pull it up on my phone. I know the battery's going, but really, I don't care. It's basically telling people, asking people if they're okay, because people don't know that these days, and they want that.
Mhm.
And this is why I always say that just those words, "Are you okay?" is the least most asked question ever. Just
Mhm.
asking if people are okay. And this is why I want to play this video. It's only it's only on for 36 seconds. Hold on, I'll see if I can do it. Uh,
Who checked on you this week? Fuck it, who checked on you this month? Yeah, and I don't mean checked on you as in they want to get high, they want to get drunk, they want to use you for a motive. I mean checked on you just to see if you was okay. I mean checked on you just to see if you want to catch up over a coffee. Not these people who've always got a personal gain or a personal motive from it. They want to use you for a good time. Nah, those ones don't care about you. They don't care about your mental health. They don't care about your life. They don't care about your career. And they don't care about your relationship. Think about it. People are going to use you all the time. They're disguised as friends, but they're fake. Only real friends will tell you what you need to hear. Only real friends will push you forward. Only real friends will check in on you to see how you are. They care about you. So fuck off all these fake friends, man, who are using you for a good time or parties or drink or drugs. Fuck them off. Get around good people. Get around real people. Put yourself first. Only have a few friends. Associates are easy to come by, but they don't care about you. I'm out.
there you go.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Absolutely. Yeah, and obviously, Richard, I've just seen that you're not okay at the moment, so this is why this is a safe space. Yes, we're live. We try not to swear, but I think that's a little bit too late now. But but we're always here. We're always like to have a good time. Yes, when people think mental health, they always think the negative. Always the negative.
Yeah.
And it's how we had fun with this thing. We had fun with it because always remember, yes, there's depression, there's anxiety, there's trauma, there's PTSD, there's schizophrenia, there's psychosis, there's BPD, there's all that out there. But we was never freaking born with it.
Mm-hmm.
We was never born with it. We was labelled it and made to believe that we've got these things. And that's where it impacts your self-identity. Because as soon as a doctor or psychiatrist or whatever diagnoses you with this thing, how many people can actually say once you diagnose, you're positive after it? You're not. You're always negative. Now we need to ask ourselves why. And it's exactly like a bad viral infection. That's what it is. It's time to get positive with this.
Yeah, I have a buddy who really hates these types of diagnoses because it seems like if someone gets diagnosed with, PTSD or ADHD or, all those kind of things, it becomes part of their personality.
Yes.
When really it's not a personality trait to have PTSD or to have ADHD or whatever. It's a difficulty to be overcome. But once you get the diagnoses, then you have access to the correct set of tools. It's like if you go to the doctor with a broken leg, he's not going to prescribe you a cancer medication for that. He's going to prescribe the right tools to deal with the situation. And that's what these diagnoses are for. They're not to make you, give you a new set of personality traits. They're so that you have access to the right tools to try and be better at, life.
Yeah. No, it is. That's exactly what it is. And we always have to ask ourselves why. And this is to everyone in the comments as well, and even on the replay. What goes through your mind when you are diagnosed with whatever it is, depression, anxiety, trauma, BPD, whatever? What goes through your mind? Because I guarantee 100% it's going to be a negative feeling. And that's what it is. Because what you're thinking, you're going to feel, because every thought is a feeling. But it's how do we respond to these things in a positive way?
Exactly. I'm in a men's group, and one of the fellows there is like ADHD and pretty heavy. But the attitude that he has is not that the ADHD stops him from doing a lot of things. He just has to figure out a different way to do it, which is really commendable. So he took his diagnosis, and it's not exactly positive, but it's not negative either. It just is, for him, it's a fact. It's like, like being born with red hair. You could dye it if you wanted and do something fake with it.
I have dyed it before.
Yeah. Or you could just have red hair.
Yeah, and this is what it is. And you've hit the nail on the head there, because it doesn't matter how many times someone dyes their hair, you are still going to be naturally that colour. Doesn't matter if you go grey, blonde, black, brown, whatever. I'll always be this colour.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. And it's time we accepted this, and that's what it is. Accept, take with the bad with the good, or good with the bad, whatever way you want to describe how you ain't got a fucking clue. But it's just all about what do you do. And obviously Richard says, obviously he's autistic. I've got my diagnosis. I was very positive after, because finally understood myself very well. But that's me. I already knew. I'm positive 70% of the time. And yeah. There you go. He spoke on stage to 650 people. That's what it is, because obviously autism is a disability. And all you have to do to see the positive in that is take away the DIS, and then you've got ability. And that's what everyone is. My kids are autistic. Well, 2 out of 4. And they know it's a superpower because they see the positive in that. And they use autism not as an excuse, but they use it to bring their ability out. Like our eldest, he uses it to solve Rubik's Cubes. I'm 32 years old. I ain't got a clue how to solve a Rubik's Cube. I ain't got a clue. And when I was growing up, I think everyone's like this. There was only the 3x3 Rubik's Cube. Now there's all these coming out. I ain't got a clue about how that and Megaminx and the Terraminx and all that. I ain't got a clue. And but then there's others. It's just all about how do we progress in life, move forward instead of being a burden not on others but ourselves.
Yeah,
because we're stopping ourselves from moving forward, and that's because we are our greatest barrier. We are our greatest teacher and critic at the same time.
Yep. And it really does have to do with that clarity about yourself. You know, knowing where your strengths lie, knowing where your weaknesses lie, and where you want to concentrate your energies.
Yeah.
So
going back to you, I'm picking on you tonight. I don't know why.
That's okay.
When and I'm obviously for people that are just can't get your words out, Adam. Come on, it's Friday. When did you realize? And hi, Chris Roush. Hope you're well, brother. When did you actually say, "Yeah, I'm going through a shit time," but I thought, okay, fuck this. It's time for me to move forward and live the best freaking life possible.
Well, actually, it took a lot for me, because I'm one of those people that's not overly self-aware, or I'm a lot better than I used to be, but I'm one of those people where the universe really needs to kick me in the head in order to get my attention.
Right.
So, like when I was when I got sober, I was at the point of, I was pretty much, they were ready to fire me at my job.
Okay.
I was at the point where I really could not deal with myself. So the solution at that point, because of the addiction, was to get sober. When I got through middle age, I was at the point where I couldn't break my depression and the way that I was feeling by myself. So the universe gave us what we lovingly call our year from hell. We had, between close friends and family, we had 15 people pass away in a year. And this was like 15 years ago. So this was before the pandemic, where it, for a short time kind of became the norm. But it was tough. And you can't go through something like that without getting help.
Yeah.
So luckily, very lucky for me, our minister at the time was very astute and just said, you know what, why don't you come and talk to me for a bit? It wasn't anything formal. It wasn't anything, whatever. But like, we started talking, and I basically broke down in his office and started some counseling with him, some spiritual counseling with him, which kind of got me started on the road of personal development and personal growth. So that I had, when I lost my job, the last big reconstruction of my life, when I lost my job, I sort of had a decent foundation under me. I mean, it still was horrible. I still spent 6 weeks on the couch trying to figure out what the heck I was going to do. And there were some days where the only productive thing I did was take a shower. Um, but if I was at that point, it was, if I got a shower and a meal in a day, it was a big win. Like, put that in the win column, because there you need to go through, I think, a period where if that's all you can do, then that's all you do.
Yeah.
You don't have to do any more than what you actually can do. So
Absolutely. And Chris Roush, which I highly recommend right now. While we've got you, Chris, highly recommend you going onto his show. He is freaking awesome. It's Chris Roush. He just says it as it is, and he swears more than me. Let's just say that. He is basically the no excuses coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is literally, that's it. You either puck up or you shut up. That's how it is. Please tell me if I'm right, Chris, or wrong. Please tell me. That's how it is. but yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I can't remember this colonel's name, but he. I don't like. Before I get to that, I don't know if anyone knows, but I've changed my tune here because I've actually now gone 40 days with no alcohol at all. I am done with it. People seem to think, yeah, this is only a temporary phase. You'll get back to it. You'll miss it. I'm like, no, I am completely done with alcohol. It doesn't serve me. It's not my purpose anymore. I don't care if I have to, when it comes to Christmas, where that was when I struggle the most, and that's when I drink the most. I'm literally just as it is. I don't care if I have to drink orange juice on Christmas Day. I freaking will. But yeah. Hi, Facebook user. Please do identify yourself so then we know exactly who you are. But yeah, this is just as it is. It's kicking ass day in, day out. But going back to this Colonel Burson, he actually stated in the speech, I can't remember his name, so if people can refresh my memory, please do. And he basically says, if you get up and make your bed, don't see it as a chore, see it as an achievement. And that's exactly what it is. See it as an achievement and accept that achievement and realize yourself. Say to yourself, you did good. You did good. You got up and actually made your bed. And that's if that's all you want to do is just get up. Yeah, we have lazy days from time to time. That's okay. I have lazy days, but it's just people need to be more aware and accept that we are powerful beings. We are powerful inside and out, and it's time we showed that. Yeah,
and that's really part of getting that clarity on who you actually are.
I agree.
And like when I lost my job and went through like those weeks on the couch and whatever, that's actually what got me into coaching. Because I had it was something that had been in the back of my mind, but then all of a sudden I had time and means and opportunity. So, and that's when I thought, okay, this is something I need to do. But it also came with the clarity that I had been sort of halfway trying to serve other people in like really bad, well, I won't say bad ways, but not concrete ways, because it's all with that people pleasing. It's like if you do something nice for somebody, they have to like you. Well, no, they don't. And I came to the clarity of I want to do something nice for people because it's nice to do something nice for people. So I wanted to be of service, and I wanted to be um, someone who was actually helping other people. So that's really why I got into coaching, and that clarity came from sort of being set free from that corporate 9 to 5 that I had, you know, that I was so into at the time that I couldn't see that there were other things out there that I could do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, do you know what? I totally agree with you. Hi, David. Nice to see you here. And that Facebook user is Richard Kaufman as well. He's in the house, so I know he's in the Warriors group. But yeah, I do. I really need to register StreamYard with that group. I just figure out how. But yeah, it's time to find clarity, people, because we are all here to serve a purpose. And this is why, and I know I keep saying it over and over again, I ask myself 2 questions every single day. And every day I have different answers. And only I know those answers. And the questions are, why am I here? And what is my purpose today?
Mm-hmm.
And there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would add, what is my intention today?
Yeah. Come, don't push it too much. Come on.
Well, well, to me that adds of, a level of, why am I here? What is my purpose? And how am I going to fulfill it? The intention is,
Yes.
how am I going to do it?
Yeah.
So that's why I would add that.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if people's got any questions surrounding clarity, please do tell us. It'll be really good.
No.
Yeah, they are good questions. They really are. And that's what that, do you know, I'm thinking of doing a video on TikTok surrounding that as well. So yeah, I ain't got a clue what to do. And this is how raw we are. Believe in himself. Robert Brooker, nice to see you here. Yeah. Or he just rants on, does Robert? I just let him get on with it. He's giving us content. That's all that matters. But yeah, another Canadian is Robert Brooker. Another Canadian.
Yeah.
We've got Canada in the house here. But yeah, this is how raw we are, guys. Half the time, the guest doesn't know the questions, and the host doesn't even know. We just go with the flow here. This is how unscripted we are. Yes, I do remember the X-Files. I love the X-Files. I need to start watching them again. But I can watch TV. So yeah.
Well,
what's
we
the
could talk
difference between clarity and intentions and purpose?
You need to have clarity on who you are in order to identify your purpose. And then your purpose leads you to your intentions.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So when I am coaching people, there's a couple of exercises that I take them through to sort of gain that clarity of who they are, and it's all around values and beliefs. And when you talk about values, everybody says, "Oh, I know what my values are." But most people really don't, because your values change, and you need to keep up with the changes that are occurring in your value system. Because when you look at the studies that have been done, 10% of our values are what we call core values. They're the things that we are born with. Like, I know I'm a very generous person. That's a core value for me. But 90% of our value system is what they call crusted values. And those are the values that we get from other people. So those are the values that you get from your parents, from any, if you're part of a spiritual or religious organization, from your teachers, from your circle of friends. They say that we're a conglomerate of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Well, values is one of those things that is into that. And society as a whole has a play on what our value systems are. So as we grow and as we mature and as we change our friend groups or change work environments or all that kind of stuff, it changes our value system. So we really need to keep in touch with what our values are.
And it's the same question to all of you in the comments as well. What do you think the difference is between intentions, purpose, and clarity? And David, you literally, that's exactly what it is, because obviously we were talking about depression earlier, and that's exactly what self-care and self-love is. It links to depression.
Yeah.
Because it's all in the deep rest.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what depression is. Yeah, we all get depressed from time to time. But it's how do we deal with that? Do we let it kick our ass, or are we going to kick its ass?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. And welcome Annette Chiappi as well, another Canadian. I think this is trying to hint that people want me over in Canada.
So I see getting in touch with your values and your belief systems is a huge play in getting clarity. But also you need to add to that like the self-reflection and the kind of the self-study. And I am a big proponent of everybody needs some sort of self-reflection practice that they do every single day. For me, it's meditation. I meditate every single day, like without fail. It's a non-negotiable. It's one of my things. I do it before I eat breakfast, so, but meditation or journaling, yoga can be very meditative and very introspective, doing breath work, all of those things. You need something that's going to allow you to calm down your nervous system so that you can get in touch with what's actually going on. And that's how we get to know ourselves, because we need to be able to pick up the patterns in our lives. And if we're always keyed up, if our nervous systems are always going haywire, we don't have the ability to see the patterns see the things that are happening over and over again that we need to deal with.
Absolutely. And obviously that's what Annette's just put about getting in touch with the core values to find your purpose. So what I'm going to do is, before we move on with the conversation, I'm going to give you the spotlight. Give a little bit of an insight for the people that don't know what the core values are.
What core values are? Well, core values are those values and beliefs that are, we say, unchangeable. They can change over time, but they are really at the root of who we believe we are. So like I said, I consider myself a fairly generous person. So that would be one of my core values. I am the type of person who does not want to harm other people. That's a core value. The other values that we have, and like I said before, core values only make up about 10% of who we are. The other 90% of our belief system, of our value system, comes from outside sources. So it's really hard at times to distinguish between what's a core value and what is a crusted value, or the values that you get from other people. And this comes from, to get a little technical, the study of values is called axiology. It's one of the 3 pillars of philosophy. So you have ethics, which is the study of right and wrong. You have aesthetics, which is the study of what is beautiful. And then you have axiology, which is the study of what we consider valuable. So those are sort of like the cores of philosophy. And I am not a philosophy major. These are just things that I have picked up as I've been going along in my own personal growth journey. One thing that I find very helpful and very useful when you're talking about values is to figure out where they actually come from. So I have an exercise that I do with my coaching clients where I have them write down a couple of values on some of the major portions of their life, things like family, things like career, things like friendships, things like community. Write down a couple of values of those, and then through that introspection, through that self-reflection, figure out where those values come from. If you can't identify exactly where they come from and fairly quickly, chances are they could be a core value. But if you can identify where they come from, then you can also identify when or how you got them. And you can also identify if they're serving you now. Because like I said, our values do change, our lives change, and our values need to change with the type of life that we are living and what we hope to live. So it gives us a chance to say, is this value serving me? And if it's not serving me, what habits have I created around that value? Because this is what we do. Our belief systems lead us to actions which become habits. Then we can start working on the habits that are feeding into that value that's no longer serving us. So these are all exercises that I do with my coaching clients.
Yes.
There you are.
I'm here.
Good
Hey,
time.
I was listening. I was listening. No, but that's exactly what it is. And for the comments, for people that are saying, does all that make sense when it comes to core values? Because they're all connected to our senses, aren't they?
They are. I mean, everything is so connected in ourselves. It's like it's unbelievable. Like the way you breathe can be connected to your belief system. You know, the way you sleep. You know, the things that happen in our bodies affect our mental state so much. And a big thing of all of this self-reflection and things that we really need to do in order to help our mental state are also helping our physical state, because they're getting us out of our sympathetic nervous system into our parasympathetic nervous system. So they're taking us from the fight or flight feeling that we have into rest and reflect. They're calming us down.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned about sleep as well, because I think I need to be assessed when it comes to my sleep, because I'm very, very productive in my sleep, very active.
Yeah.
Let's just say I kick the sheet, even though the sheet's underneath me, I kick it off. I punch my pillows. I ain't. This is all what I've been told. If a lot is on my mind, I tend to sleepwalk. So something's going on.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Yes. It's just questioning what, because I don't remember. Because we don't know what we're doing in our, like, consciously, we don't know what we're doing in our sleep, but subconsciously, it's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. And actually remembering your dreams has a lot to do with your nervous state, with the state of your nervous system.
I don't remember any of it.
Yeah. There are some things you can do, things that I learned from a dream. I don't know how he positions himself, whether he calls himself a dream coach or something, but he deals with people's dreams. That's his business. If you like make an intention before you go to sleep. Like when you lay
Right.
down on the pillow, like make an intention of, I want to remember my dreams.
Right.
Like it helps get you in the frame of mind of actually remembering your dreams. Um, if they are, yeah, clearing your mind, writing down your thoughts and feelings before you go to bed. Um, I am a big believer that when we are asleep, our mind processes things that we can't deal with when we're awake. Either we don't have time or the bandwidth to do that.
Okay.
So, like you could be processing stuff that your mind is thinking isn't important to deal with, or you don't have, like, it's not a priority to deal with. You have too much going on in your waking life, so it's dealing with it when you're asleep. Could be all sorts of different things.
I'll give something to try because I know it sounds weird, but music actually really helps me fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's any sort of music, whether it's
Yeah.
people like Evanescence to Bon Jovi or even really heavy metal music. It helps me sleep.
Yeah. Um, a lot of people have trouble sleeping because they say their mind is too active. And the music gives your mind something to concentrate on instead of all of those thoughts
Yes.
that are going on in our head. But that's actually one of the reasons that I love meditation, is because it gives me the ability to control what's going on in my head.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm actually going to attempt tonight. I'm going to read a book, but
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the downfalls is I actually read a book that stimulates my brain. Like obviously, just one of the books I've got is The Power of the Subconscious Mind.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a big mistake to read before bed. Big mistake.
Yeah. And I'm one of those people that can't read before I go to sleep because I get too engrossed in what I'm reading.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
and I'll lay down at, planning on being asleep in half an hour, and 4 hours later I'm still reading my book. So it's not good for me to read before I
And
go
you're
to sleep.
talking to people about habits. Mm, yeah. All right.
Oh,
Okay.
that would be a
Robert
good book to read.
says it is a powerful book to read before bed. Power of the Subconscious Mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hey, but go back to it. What works for some may not work for others. That's how it is.
Yeah, and that's part of the work, is you need to find out what's going to work for you.
Yes.
And
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
I
and
tried
again,
yoga. That doesn't work for me.
yeah, no,
Yoga doesn't work. Yeah. Okay. Something to think about. Something to think about. Even though we've gone right off topic, and I know we're going to be talking about sleep in the next few weeks anyway, or in a couple of
yeah,
months, whenever it's due on. But yes,
hmm
I think that's pretty much it, unless you've got something else.
I don't. It's just, I just wanted to really reiterate about, there are tools available for you to get clear on the type of person you are, so you can create the type of person you want to be. Knowing who you are in the moment gives you a starting point,
Yeah.
which is really what clarity is. It's a starting point.
Absolutely. Yeah, I
Because
totally
like
agree.
we all want to have growth, we all want to have improvement, so getting clarity on who you are and what's going on in the moment is a starting point. But you need that starting point in order to start the journey.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah. Yeah. Well, either way, thanks for coming on. I know
Sure.
you're going to be coming back at some point, whenever that is. But yes, thanks to all the content, all the comments and questions. Much appreciated. Please do share this. And if you're watching but not commenting, thank you for tuning in. Please do subscribe to wherever you are. And next week we're going to be talking with Liam Tohai about ADHD and fitness. So that should be very interesting. So, and Nick Ronald will be back, the secret influencer, which I highly recommend being on your show as well. He's really good. He's in the UK as well. Nick Ronald. So yeah, I will see you all later. Yeah. All right, I'll end this now.
Sounds
and
good.
Please share this all.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.